Now, Lord Cholmondeley, of all the wonderful things that are on display in the public parts of the house, these items have come from the private apartments, haven't they?
Yes, this has always been in the hall, the entrance hall downstairs, and under one of the mahogany tables, and used as a waste paper basket, I'm afraid.
with the side
very practical.
You could always put a liner in it, I suppose, you want to do that. There should be a pair to it.
There is a pair.
There is a pair.
Yeah,
that's the other side. The other waste paper basket. You're coming in or going out of the house. Well, they're plate buckets. That accounts for the fact that it has a gap so that you can lift the plates in and out. And they were carried from the kitchen to the dining room in pairs and carried on a yoke. So you did. I mean, they're so heavy. Anyway, that's quite heavy with that. Yes. Yes. Milk pails. So they've sort of carried them in pairs. This is rather a nice size one, and probably for dessert plates rather than dinner plates.
Right.
It's got a particularly pretty little brass mount around here, which is sort of 1810 to 1815. Which is about the right date for these things. They sort of tended to go out of fashion by about 1830 and weren't introduced as such until the sort of 1780s, so they're a fairly short lifespan. And their value, I mean, in pairs usually today between £6,000 and £8,000, depending on their size and quality. But of course, as soon as you have a provenance like this great house, then prices can make anything, because in the future it means that someone's going to own it and say, well, this came from Houghton Hall. Yes. So I think we have to ignore the provenance side and say a pair of these should be insured for, say, £7,500 to £8,000.
Really?
But as their provenance makes them unique, then they couldn't be replaced.
Well, I think we certainly shouldn't be using them as waste paper.
Well,
I should find another use.
Put a few plates in just to remind you what they're for.
Yes, exactly.
And then we have this extraordinary wassail bowl, which is made of one of the most dense timbers known, which is lignum vitae. If you threw that into the lake, it would sink.
Really?
Oh, yes, it does not float. And this was a wassail at Christmas time, and you toasted your friends. They're almost big enough to get into, isn't it?
Like a sort of punch.
Absolutely. Oh, yes, sure. With apples and alcohol and all sorts of things. I mean, it really is a stunning piece. It's one of the largest I've ever seen. There is one maybe a tad bigger, but if not certainly the same size, in the Victoria and Albert Museum, which has a crisscross pattern cut onto it, and the original fitments to go in those little holes. And those were little cups with a spike on. And I suppose 1640 this was made.
Really? Very early.
Yes. Where does this live, by the way?
This lives by Sir Robert Walpole's desk in the library. It doesn't have any purpose. It just sits there.
Don't sort of throw anything into this.
No, well, I suppose with a lid. But
it stands on the floor.
But really, it should be exhibited.
This, in today's market, could easily make £25,000.
Really?
Yes. Right. So pop it on a table now.
Definitely.